The Antarctic continent has always been a place of extremes. It is a vast white wilderness, governed by ice and silence. For centuries, it has held its secrets close, buried deep beneath a frozen shield, thousands of meters thick. Scientists venture into this unforgiving world with great purpose, seeking to understand our planet's past and predict its future. They endure punishing conditions, driven by the hope of discovery. In September of 2024, one such team was working on the Dotson Ice Shelf, a colossal expanse of floating ice. Their mission was straightforward: to drill through the ice and study the ocean currents below, a critical task in our warming world. Their drill bit, a marvel of modern engineering, descended through the ancient compressed layers of ice. It was a slow and methodical process. Each meter gained a small victory against the cold. The team monitored their progress, expecting only to find the frigid, dark waters of the Amundsen Sea. But then, at a depth of 187 meters, the drill's sensors registered something unexpected. It was not the liquid water they were searching for, nor was it the solid bedrock of the continent. The drill had encountered something else entirely, something that felt soft, yielding, and organic. What they brought to the surface would soon challenge everything we thought we knew. The air on the ice shelf was thin and bitingly cold, but the atmosphere inside the research tent grew thick with anticipation. Carefully, the team extracted the core sample. There, embedded within the pristine ice, was a fragment of tissue. It was unlike anything they had ever seen. The material was pale and fibrous, possessing a texture that seemed alien under the harsh lights of their mobile lab. This was not the remains of a seal or a penguin lost to the ice long ago. This was something else. A message from a world hidden from the sun for millennia, now brought into the light. The initial excitement was quickly replaced by a profound sense of wonder and confusion. The Dotson Ice Shelf is a dynamic, moving feature, but the location of the find was in an area of exceptionally old, stable ice. How could a biological specimen come to be trapped so deep within this frozen expanse? It was far from any known source of contamination, isolated in a sterile environment that had remained undisturbed for an incredible length of time. The team knew they were standing on the precipice of a monumental discovery, but they could not yet imagine the depths of the mystery that was beginning to unfold before them. Leading the preliminary analysis was Dr. Helena Frost, a biologist renowned for her meticulous and cautious approach to science. She was a veteran of Antarctic expeditions, a scientist who understood the profound isolation and the need for rigorous procedure. With steady hands, she prepared a sliver of the unknown tissue for inspection under a powerful field microscope. What she saw on the monitor screen made her pause, her breath held in the cold air. The cells displayed before her did not conform to the familiar patterns of any known kingdom of life on our planet. They were structured in a way that seemed to defy the very principles of biology. The cellular architecture was profoundly strange. Instead of the familiar nucleus, mitochondria, and cell wall, Dr. Frost observed complex, interlocking crystalline structures that pulsed with a faint rhythmic light. It was life, undeniably, but not as we knew it. The greatest shock, however, came from the genetic analysis. The team managed to extract strands of what appeared to be DNA, yet the readings were impossible. Terrestrial life, from the smallest bacterium to the great blue whale, is built upon a genetic code of 4 fundamental bases. This sample appeared to contain 6, with 2 entirely new components that had no counterpart in earthly biology. Dr. Frost documented every single step with painstaking detail. Her notebooks, which were later recovered, are filled with precise drawings, data logs, and her own astonished observations. She repeated the tests again and again, trying to find an error in her methods or a fault in her equipment, but the results remained consistent. The tissue was biological, yet its cellular and genetic makeup was fundamentally alien to this world. It was as if she were looking at a blueprint for life written in a completely different language, a biological system that had evolved along a separate, unknown path. Before all contact was lost, Dr. Frost managed to secure fragments of the specimen for transport. These small, precious samples were flown out of Antarctica and delivered to independent laboratories across the globe. It was a critical step, ensuring that this unbelievable finding could be verified by others. Scientists in Germany, Japan, and the United States received the sealed containers with a mixture of skepticism and intrigue. They began their own analyses, unaware of the silence that had already fallen over the Dotson ice shelf. Their work would soon confirm Dr. Frost's extraordinary and deeply unsettling conclusions. The dangers of working in Antarctica are ever present. The weather can turn in an instant, with storms that bring visibility down to zero and temperatures that can freeze exposed skin in seconds. Equipment fails in the extreme cold. The ice itself, seemingly solid, is a moving, cracking entity full of hidden crevasses. Every scientist who travels to the frozen continent knows these risks. They are a constant companion to the pursuit of knowledge at the bottom of the world. The team at the Dotson ice shelf was experienced and well-equipped, prepared for the harsh realities of their environment, but no one was prepared for what happened next. Shortly after Dr. Frost transmitted her final stunning report, all communication from the research station ceased. Routine check-ins went unanswered. Satellite calls connected to nothing but static. A chilling, impenetrable silence was the only reply from the camp. At first, mission controllers assumed it was a simple equipment malfunction, a common occurrence in the polar regions. But as hours turned into days, a deep sense of unease began to grow. Rescue teams were dispatched, but severe weather, a sudden and violent polar vortex, hampered their efforts, keeping aircraft grounded for nearly a week. When the rescue team finally reached the coordinates of the camp, they found the site abandoned. The tents were still standing, battered by the wind, but there was no sign of Dr. Helena Frost or any of her colleagues. Their personal effects and scientific equipment were largely in place, as if they had stepped away for a moment and never returned. There were no notes, no distress signals, and no clues to explain their sudden disappearance. The only things missing were the team members themselves and the bulk of the bizarre tissue sample they had discovered. The Antarctic wilderness had swallowed them whole. The disappearance of an entire research team in such mysterious circumstances sent a shockwave through the international scientific community. It served as a grim and tragic reminder of the continent's unforgiving nature. But this was more than a tragic accident. The context of their unprecedented discovery cast a strange and troubling shadow over the event. Had they simply fallen victim to the continent's natural hazards, a sudden ice fracture or a whiteout storm? Or was their disappearance connected to the impossible life form they had pulled from its ancient frozen tomb? The questions hung in the air, as cold and sharp as the Antarctic wind itself. Today, more than a year after the discovery, the scientific world is left with a profound and unsettling puzzle. The independent laboratory reports all came to the same conclusion. The tissue from the Dotson ice shelf does not belong to any known species on Earth. Its unique cellular structure and expanded genetic code have been confirmed. It is a form of life that should not exist, yet the evidence for it is undeniable. This single, small fragment of organic matter fundamentally challenges our definition of life and our place in the universe. It opens a door into a biological realm we never knew was possible. Scientists are now grappling with a host of questions, each more perplexing than the last. What is the origin of this organism? Could it be a survivor from a completely separate genesis of life here on Earth, a shadow biosphere that has remained hidden in the planet's most extreme environments? Or does its origin lie somewhere else entirely, beyond our own world? Perhaps it is a remnant of an extraterrestrial organism, arriving on a meteorite countless eons ago and finding a home in the dark, cold waters beneath the Antarctic ice. At this stage, no theory is too outlandish to consider. The mystery of what happened to Dr. Frost and her team only deepens the enigma. Their meticulous records are all that remain of their final days, a testament to their dedication in the face of an incomprehensible discovery. Their fate remains unknown, a human tragedy intertwined with a scientific revolution. We are left to wonder what they might have learned in their final hours and what secrets they may have taken with them. The Antarctic continues to guard its silence, leaving us with fragments of data, an empty camp, and a story that feels incomplete. And so we are left to look at the world with new eyes. This discovery, born of ice and mystery, invites us to reconsider the boundaries of the possible. It suggests that our planet may still hold wonders far beyond our imagination, hidden in the places we have only just begun to explore. What else lies waiting beneath the ice, in the crushing pressures of the deep oceans, or even within the rocks beneath our feet? The story of the Dotson ice shelf is not an ending, it is a beginning. It is an invitation for all of us to wonder, to question, and to marvel at the profound and enduring mystery of life itself.